preparing a global digital marketing strategy and leveraging cross-border e-commerce. In 2018, a growing share of global business is being conducted through cross-border e-commerce. What exactly is cross-border e-commerce? In simple terms, when an overseas buyer purchases products or services from an online vendor in another country. This could be a transaction made on Amazon by a buyer in the EU. It might be an individual buyer in Australia placing an order on your Shopify account managed directly by you, a solo or small entrepreneur, or perhaps, even more ambitiously, selling directly to Chinese consumers. The largest tranche of global cross-border e-commerce buyers via one of the large e-commerce platforms such as Alibaba's Tmall Global, JD.com, or NetEase/Cola.com. Cross-border e-commerce is a booming alternative distribution route allowing Chinese and Southeast Asia consumers to buy overseas manufactured goods online and effectively bypass the regulatory issues that have stymied access to highly desired consumer products, from beauty products to supplements, wine, and thousands of other products. In 2017 alone, $220 billion in commerce was transacted through cross-border e-commerce in China, and this number is expected to double within by 2023. Already, China has more than 300 million middle-class consumers actively buying overseas goods online, and this number will reach nearly 600 million consumers in less than 5 years. Each year, the importance of China e-commerce is punctuated in what is known as Double 11, 11, and this year alone, Alibaba reported more than $30 billion in sales, followed closely by the other major e-commerce platforms. Why do Chinese and Southeast Asia consumers seek out foreign products? One reason for the popularity is that cross-border e-commerce has empowered consumers to buy foreign manufactured infant milk powder, health supplements, vitamins, beauty products, and other product categories whose safety and efficacy have been tainted by a number of consumer scandals over the past decade. Cross-border e-commerce has also afforded Chinese and Southeast Asia consumers access to a wide variety of exotic foods, acai berries, wine, and the latest apparel, shoes, and latest trendy products. The later goods have heretofore only been available at extremely high duties that are essentially removed from cross-border consumers. Who are the buyers? The demographics suggest the majority of buyers range in age from 18 to 35, more likely female, buying at least one time a month, and 53% of online buyers spent more than $1,468 per year, and 15% more than $3,000 in the past 12 months. Mobile-based shopping applications account for nearly 50% of global e-commerce transactions, driven by the 1 billion users of WeChat, China's most popular instant messaging system. How does a U.S. company go about selling through cross-border e-commerce? Market share of main e-commerce players in China. Cola, 24.2%, Tmall, 20.3%, and JD Worldwide, 12.5%. For medium-sized and large companies established in China or trying to gain a foothold, cross-border e-commerce is an important consideration. The major platforms, Alibaba, Tmall Global, JD.com, Cola.com, offer various engagement strategies for these companies, but not without large financial risk. For example, to establish a flagship online store on Tmall Global, JD.com, or Cola.com, the minimum investment is $15,000, and likely closer to $50,000 to simply get the online store live. Yet this is simply a starting point. If your company wants to directly take on cross-border e-commerce in China, you will need a bilingual staff to manage your storefront, the ability to accept payment by Alipay, most popular payment method in China, WeChat Pay, manage customer returns, as high as 20% on some e-commerce platforms, develop effective social media engagement in China on platforms such as WeChat, the world's most popular instant messaging network with 1 billion users. Yes, 1 billion. Yuko and others. 65% of buyers say key opinion leaders drive sales. Contract with the appropriate logistics provider or providers. ability and willingness to accept payments over a 30 to 60-day cycle, depending on negotiated agreement with platform. While the allure of selling direct to consumers in China has long been the dream of U.S. businesses and entrepreneurs seeking to tap into a market of 1.3 billion, the sobering reality is making a profit exporting through cross-border e-commerce is not guaranteed. Consider the associated costs of exporting through cross-border e-commerce platforms and the limits of price escalation. Chinese consumers expect to find bargains. 11/11 sales are driven by deep discounting, and building brand awareness through social media and influencers in China is not cheap.